Hey, how's everybody doing? Thought I'd do a little video on cleaning my saw blades. I cut a whole lot of southern yellow pine. That's most of what I use for making the windows and stuff. And the southern yellow pine gets a huge buildup of resin. And this is less than a week's worth of cutting. In different weeks I cut different amounts. And so from time to time I have a big batch to cut, and you can see the chipper blade here, they just get really caked up. So I'll just run through the process of what I do to clean them. I use a lot of razor blades, so on glass edges, cleaning the glass, so the corners, or I get lots of burrs and stuff. So instead of throwing them away constantly, I keep this stone and I just knock the burrs off of them and that. But to start out with, I just very carefully, because it gets caked up pretty good. See, I can get up here and get a already cleaned the tips. Yeah, you can see here I get a pretty good and if it's on there for very long it gets real hard. So, but I will go around to all the teeth and just very carefully, some of them aren't so bad, and that tells me that there's a little bit of unevenness in the grinding, and I've noticed I get that a lot whether they're brand new. Actually, this set here, this is my new four wing chipper, and these have never been sharpened. These are factory edges, and like I say, you can see on some that they cut, some teeth cut a lot more than others. So, but I'm going to go through, these are the ones that are and down here in the gullies you can see I'll go through, scrape out the masses, then I'll show you, this will take me a little bit, and then I run them, spray them with oven cleaner and scrub them down, and I'll show you that in the next one. But I do try to be real careful and stay off the edges. I just try to remove the mass. I don't try to clean the tooth. And some of these, like that one right there, you can see there's a big chunk of sap there, but that's one of the benefits of southern yellow pine as opposed to your white pines and northern pines. Basically 2x4s are a white pine, sometimes fir and that. They're real dry and porous, where the southern yellow pine obviously has a real high sap content, and that really helps in moisture resistance for exterior grade use. Traditionally, windows were made out of southern yellow pine, but to get a southern yellow pine anymore, I mean, I pay, what am I paying, about $3.50 a board foot for 8/4. Here is one of my cutoffs. This batch is 10 inches wide, 16 feet long, full 2-inch dimension, and I have them mill it down to 1 15/16 and then put a straight line on it. Otherwise it's full dimension, full 2 inches, actually like 2 1/16. It's always a little bit higher. But I get, like I say, they're about $3.50 a board foot. I got the last batch, I got 6 boards. They were 16 footers, about $420 some, something like that. So not cheap, but when I put the windows on, I'm not as worried about them like all these modern windows that are rotting. So anyway, well, I'm gonna go through and clean these up, and then I'll show you spraying them down and scrubbing them, and then we'll go from there. Thanks. Alright, here's my little station I got set up for cleaning the blades. I've gone through and scraped off all the heavy deposits. Sorry about the bad lighting, I don't have good lighting over here. A 5-gallon bucket is, I can take a 10-inch saw blade and put it inside a 5-gallon bucket real nicely. I've just taken the bottom of a bucket and cut it off. I have some plastic brushes. You can use brass, plastic, you know, really make sure you don't hurt anything on the teeth. The little sticks are to keep the blade from laying flat in there and getting stuck. So, but I got this set up here. I need some more oven cleaner. This is just some Zet. I'll do that one. I just got a little screw on the end of the board here. I'm barely going to have enough to get my chipper blades. So I'll let those sit 5-10 minutes at the most. I cleaned them pretty good, so it's not going to take as long. When it's real thick and I don't clean the heavy buildup off of the teeth and between in the gullets or whatever you call those, then it really takes a lot of scrubbing. And I just come in and with it wet, don't have to worry about it with the plastic brush. If you're using brass, you know, push outward, and that way you don't ever take a chance of dragging it across the teeth. And I use a little bit of water just to break it down. Like I say, the little sticks in here are just to keep it from sticking to the bottom. Then I use the wider brush for scrubbing the residue off. See there. If I didn't have those sticks in here right now, this thing would stick to the bottom and it'd be a real pain in the butt. Oop, that sucker's slippery. Oh, and there's a correction on that Southern Yellow Pine. I'm paying $2.50 a board foot, so which is, yeah, fairly reasonable, but a 2x10 16 footer still $60. So. And initially but anyway, if you can hear me, you can see there, I'll towel it dry, get it real dry before I put it in. But that gets them nice and clean. So anyway, thanks for watching. Sorry about the compressor there. Of course it's going to come on if I use the air. But anyway, here's you see that, nice and clean. All the gullies are cleaned out. A little bit of chunks down in there, and you can definitely tell a difference when I set this up. The maximum I like to go is about 9/16 on my dado set, and you can really tell the difference in the cut with a clean blade as opposed to a dirty one. So anyway, thanks a lot.